My regards. In the past, about 15 years ago, when a player reached the age of 30, it meant that the player became a reserve in his team, and it meant that the player was on the verge of retirement, and the player who breaks this rule is considered a phenomenon player, a player who breaks the age rules in football. But now this thing has become talked about when players reach the age of 34 and 35 years old. We are now seeing contracts renewed for players over the age of 35. In the past, the topic was almost unlikely and impossible. The age of the ideal career for a player in the past was 8 or 9 years. Now it has become 12 or 13 years. In a team of researchers at the Spanish University of Vigo, they conducted a study on Champions League players from the year 1990 to 2018. They found that the average age of players in this tournament, in fact, it increased by approximately 70% from 24.9 to 26.5, meaning we are talking about an increase of approximately 1 year and 6 months. Why are players now longer in football? In fact, the reason is not only health, food, and exercise. There are other reasons. We will start talking about them one by one. The first reason is clear, that in football, money has become more. Players have become more committed to the game because it means a greater source of income. In addition to the fact that most players do not know what to do after they retire. Life has many things, temptations, matters and changes. It became better for them to keep playing for more money and find something to have fun with until they finish their projects that they could start after their football career. The second reason is certainly the introduction of the concept of proper nutrition. We all know the amazing example of Cristiano Ronaldo regarding the issue of 4 or 5 meals a day, the details of sleep, what he eats, and what he drinks every day. We also know the story of Lukaku when he left for Italy, how they dealt with the issue of his fitness and the issue of his metabolism with diet. The issue has changed a lot, and all players have come to understand the importance of eating for their game and the importance of eating for their sustainability and reducing injuries. There is also a medical reason, which is the development of sports medicine and the development of sports medical research, as well as inventing machines for faster recovery and recovery, like the one we know, this cold shower that we see with almost all players in Europe. It is called the cryotherapy device, and players are allowed to undergo it for 3 or 4 minutes, which helps to quickly reduce the effects of any muscle tension, even in football. The concept of DNA and genetic testing is involved, which makes you know that some players want a different training system in order to avoid getting scammed, and therefore it was normal to see a player like Harry Kane investing in a company called Oxyfit. It is a startup company in the field of fitness using artificial intelligence. Its goal is to try to reduce injuries during the physical effort exerted by the player. This means that medicine in sports has become a second level within 15 years. So it is natural for players to live longer because their treatment has become better. There are no repercussions and setbacks on infection cases as in the past. Medical rehabilitation has become better, meaning sometimes one wishes that Van Basten and Ronaldo were still playing football. Would they have retired or moved away from the limelight quickly? Or were they going to continue longer and longer without injuries in the same field? Something else has developed, which is the physical preparation for matches into parts. The first part, which we know as training with the team, has become more interested in the concept of physical preparation in all European clubs, but also, players are bringing their own physical equipment. These special trainers care about the nutrition system, exercises, and when to increase the training rate, and when to reduce it for the player based on the upcoming matches. This thing ensures that the players always remain in the best possible physical condition. We got rid of the medical reasons and went to the reasons related to the clubs. The first reason why football has become more stressful than in the past is that clubs like to have an experienced player He is accustomed to bearing pressure and tension, because the young player can collapse under tension and pressure. This helps young players develop under their umbrella, so they have a different use. It is not only physical effort that we think of as an element of experience, also as a commercial and economic value. When a club buys a player for 100 million and he serves 10 years, the inverse of this money on its real budget is 10 million per year, but if they serve 5 years, it is 20 million per year. Players are supported by clubs as well, because commercially, this is better for them. Also, there is a final reason with which we conclude. The lifestyle of the players has changed. The outlook on the concept of their behavior has changed. In the past, people used to hear that Romario had finished the match and went to stay up late to watch the topic. Wow, it was beautiful and they were happy about it. Now the player who stays up late after the match is being destroyed on social media. George Best is a famous example of alcohol addiction and multiple relationships without an end. He used to show off talking while playing. Now, if he says this, there will be a disaster in the media and his club will punish him. The lifestyle of players changed under the pressure of social media. First, they must be disciplined, committed professionals. This makes them more focused and makes their health better. The role of business agents has also developed greatly in managing players. They have become something like a mentor, a coach, a professor who helps him with his problems, with many details in his personal life. This made the player focused on playing and able to continue. This is a set of reasons why current football players live longer than previous football players in a generation that would have been a golden generation if only 15 years had been delayed, and we have now lived with them for longer and longer years.